Hello and welcome to Monumental, a weekly show all about the history behind the people and things that inspired great public monuments. This week's show is all about how a mega rich American was to dramatically change the lives of the British poor. For someone who was to rise to the very top of British society, George Peabody had a rather unusual start to life. He was born to what's basically an American white trash family, and by the age of 11 was already working full-time in a shop just to pay off his father's debts. The work obviously agreed with him because by the age of 19 he'd become a partner in a dry goods wholesale firm in Washington DC, and over the course of the next decade became the senior partner in the firm before expanding it right across the eastern seaboard, making him a wealthy man, if not absolutely stinking rich.
George was hugely ambitious and decided to expand his business internationally. The place to do that was London, then the undisputed financial capital of the world. In 1827, he travelled to England for the first time, and despite having fought for the United States in the 1812 war against Britain, he quickly established a reputation as not only a shrewd trader, but someone the Brits could do business with. One London banker is recorded to have said of Peabody, "Why, he is a perfect gentleman. He doesn't seem like an American at all, you know." Peabody did so well in London, he decided to settle there permanently, and eventually was able to set himself up as an international financier. His real megabucks came from investing heavily in the American economy when other European-based bankers wouldn't touch it with a barge pole. When the US economy began to flourish, Peabody made an absolute killing. So much so that the modern uber investment banks Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan and Deutsche Bank all owe their existence to Peabody's success.
At the height of his powers, he was worth about $12 million, making him a billionaire by today's standards. But the reason why this statue is here isn't because he made all that money, but because he voluntarily gave almost all of it away again.
Although he became astonishingly rich, Peabody was always conscious of his humble beginnings and never lived an extravagant lifestyle. His accommodation in London was fairly modest and he never employed a valet, most unusual for a man of his standing. This unpretentious behaviour extended to taking the bus, even though he could have afforded to be carried to work by an army of monkeys. He never forgot or denied his past and was acutely aware of the suffering of the many thousands of Londoners who lived below the poverty line in absolute squalor. He decided to help by starting a self-perpetuating fund to provide good quality housing for London's poor and endowed it with a whopping $2.5 million. It was a huge success, and today the Peabody Trust has grown to provide quality accommodation for 50,000 Londoners on low incomes.
Once he popped, he just couldn't stop and kept on giving more and more money away to good causes in both Britain and the US. By the time he died, he donated about $8 million, or 2/3 of his colossal fortune, and provided in his will for most of the remaining $4 million to be given away to various charities. To say thank you, the Brits gave him an honorary degree from Oxford, the Freedom of the City of London. He became the first American to be granted a funeral in Westminster Abbey, and last but not least, this statue was put up to him in his own lifetime, confirming his status as a proud American, but a proudly adopted Brit.